Hi there, it's Kevin from RogueDeckBuilder.com here with another match with Epic Experiment. This is in a standard 8-man queue, and this is round number 1. We did win this round, but we ended up losing the second round to Celestia aggro. No board sweepers in our main board, and he's able to crush us first game with a very aggressive draw. And then game number 2, I died to a second turn rest in peace. So very uneventful games. I'm not going to do the replays for him because that rest in peace did completely shut me down. Unable to flash back any of my lingering souls, or I had a handful of lingering souls and snapcaster mages, and so I was pretty much dead. Anyhow, this is versus Esper control, and I just wanted to show this replay. I know I've been showing a lot of Epic Experiment lately, but this is another example of how Epic Experiment performs very well against the control matchups. And here I am on the draw, and I will keep this even though it's slow. I don't know what I'm playing up against, but I will keep this. I've got 3 out of the 4 of my mana sources. Desperate Ravings is active. One more land, and the Forbidden Alchemy is active, and the Lingering Souls. So this is a very good hand against the field. It's definitely a keeper. So start out by a Clifftop Retreat and pass it back to him, and the Evolving Wilds, and he gets an island, and we'll ship it to him, and he F6 the turn on accident, or maybe no, I think he accidentally F6 the turn here because he does discard a Drowned Catacomb. So yeah, be careful with those F6s if you're playing MTGO. It happens to me all the time actually. I get a little bit impatient thinking I just skip the end of his turn when I end up skipping my whole turn. So yeah, we're a turn ahead because of that. And I'll throw out a Lingering Souls. We were able to get our 3rd land, and might as well, since I saw the blue in the Drowned Catacomb, I put him on Esper, or there isn't a black-blue control right now, so Esper control. So getting the Lingering Souls out quick and start wheeling his life total down is important. You can make him waste like a Supreme Verdict on just the 2 spirits. That's awesome. So anyway, once again, we'll just keep our mana up. I love Epic Experiment, the blue here in Epic Experiment, because our opponents always play around our counter spells even though we don't have any, and it gives us such an advantage. It slows down the game, lets us set up our combo, and yeah, it's just a great plus to this deck. So we'll Forbidden Alchemy at the end of turn here, and we grab. I wanted to grab a land, but there was no land, so we grab a Goblin Electromancer and ship the rest of these into the yard. So we'll play our Goblin Electromancer this turn and pass it back to him. So we're in good position here. The Clifftop, it's a decent card to grab here. We still need to grab a land with a black source, but now we can, at the end of turn, Desperate Rave twice. And pretty soon he's going to have to clear the board with one of his sweepers, and just for Goblin Electromancer and half a Lingering Souls. So like I said, we're in very good position here. So we will Desperate Rave at the end of turn. Augur goes into the bin, that's fine. Get a Sulphur Falls, and we'll do it again. And the Epic Experiment goes in the bin. That's also okay, because we do have a Past in Flames if worst comes to worst. Alrighty, and we grab our Blood Crypt, which is awesome. So we'll swing away. And he ultimate prices a Lingering Souls token, so that's like a 0.25 of a card for a card. So that's how desperate he's getting. He's got to ultimate price a token, and that's why I decided to go balls out here with the spirit tokens. If he's ultimate pricing just a Lingering Souls token, I don't have him on a Terminus or a Supreme Verdict. And same thing when he uses the Tribute Hunger, then you gotta think no ultimate price or Supreme Verdict. But he does have it, so I don't know what's up with using the ultimate price and Tribute to Hunger, unless he needed to top deck a land there. That's the only thing I can think of, because he had the Terminus in hand if he was just going to cast it for its regular casting cost. So I'm thinking that he probably had to draw the 6th land, and that is why he ultimate price and tributed into my turn. So that's okay. We still have 2 Lingering Souls in the graveyard, a Goblin Rally. I mean, this is our game to lose here. Plenty of lands. So we'll go out and throw out a Goblin Electromancer and a Goblin Rally and pass it back to him. And once again, he has another Terminus in his hand. Or wait, there's this... Nope, Sphinx's Revelation for 3. He's trying to get an answer here. And this means he's dead on board. We have the... Oh no, we don't have... Yes, we have the Burn of the Stakes in the graveyard. So actually we need to draw battle him. But we'll be able to hit him for 6 next turn, or this turn. And the Augur's cool. So I actually should have casted the Augur first, because I do find a Battle Hymn with the Augur, I believe. Yeah, we find a Battle Hymn, and now I do some quick math here. I'm like, yeah, I believe I can win here with the Battle Hymn and the Pass in Flames. So I cast the Battle Hymn, and cast the Pass in Flames, and cast the Goblin Rally back from the graveyard, and we are then able to get enough tokens to burn at the stake. So that's game 1. We go on to game 2. So this is a keep hand as well. We have all of our mana sources with the Blood Crypt and the Hallowed Fountain, and we can take 2 life next turn. That's fine. So we'll keep this, and we got the Accelerant, Goblin Electromancer, and 2 Augurs and Talryn. So we're good. And that's a great draw. Now we have enough mana for the Forbidden Alchemy, and this turn we'll chuck out an Augur Bolus, and I'd rather have him counter an Augur than a Goblin Electromancer. And we do find a Lingering Souls, and also a Goblin Rally, but we take the Lingering Souls, of course. So yeah, we'll attack here, and then I decided to not cast the Forbidden Alchemy here. I don't know if that's the right move. I just didn't want the Forbidden Alchemy to be countered. But now looking in hindsight, if he did counter the Forbidden Alchemy, then I have a free turn to cast, whatever. But I wanted that Forbidden Alchemy to stick no matter what. So I chose not to play it in a turn. And here he decides to Drown Yard himself. So now I decide to cast the Forbidden Alchemy. And I do grab the kill condition at Burn at the Stake, and throw a bunch of unneeded lands and a key rune into the graveyard. So that's really good. We don't have to draw those, and we've got our kill condition. So we just need to battle him now, and we're good. So I mean, that was a really good Forbidden Alchemy, because we would have drawn 3 lands and a key rune in a row. And that's, I guess against this matchup, it's not too bad, because the more lands the merrier for an epic experiment. And we do hit our Battle Hymn, and we'll take it, and we've got our combination for a kill. So now all we have to do is play around counter spells, and we win this game. And he does waste a Sever on the Augur Bolus. Sure, that's okay. We already got value out of him. And since he's tapped out, I will throw out a Goblin Electromancer. I don't want Talryn to get countered from an Essence Scatter, so I play around an Essence Scatter, but I doubt he has Essence Scatter. I bet he subbed him out. And if Essence Scatter does become incredibly popular again, which it is starting to see playing like the Azorius midrange, we're all wizards. I just noticed that. Everything in our deck is wizards. The Augur Boluses, the Goblin Electromancers, the Talryn, and the Snapcasters are all wizards. So we can throw in Cavernous Souls if that's the case, but I mean, we're not heavily reliant on our creatures anyway. So Lily comes out here, and I try to save my I do draw a Snapcaster out of the Forbidden Alchemy, so I do try to save my Goblin Electromancer by flashing in a Snapcaster, and he is able to syncopate it, but that's good. We get rid of one of the counters out of his hand. Our Goblin Electromancer isn't necessary at this point. I mean, we have plenty of tokens generating from these guys. He's now pretty much tapped out for a Talryn right here, so I can throw out a Talryn, which I will do. And we'll also Lingering Souls here, which he is able to syncopate our Lingering Souls, but again, now that's 2 syncopates out of the way, and our Talryn can just go crazy here. I mean, he's going to have to eventually either sever my Talrand or sever the Drakes. And maybe that's what he should have done here, is just severed my Talrand while I'm tapped out. But he decides to Jace here and finds just a Forbidden Alchemy and passes it back to me. So I'll kill his Jace here. And I don't want to attack into a Snapcaster with my Talrand, so I'll keep him back. So there goes Jace. Any Forbidden Alchemies? I'm not worried about Liliana. I mean, my graveyard's more relevant than his graveyard. And he does. He activates a Lily, but so we can just throw in anything here. I think I throw the Burn at the Stakes. It's probably the best one to throw. And he flashes back Lingering Souls and decides to sever my Talrand, which I will battle him here to get a Drake token in 3 mana. And battle him again. And then I decide to Desperate Ravings. And I guess I should have tapped differently there. Not tapped all my... Well, no, because I battle him. Okay. So we will Forbidden Alchemy, actually. And I end up grabbing... I should have tapped some lands there and kept some red open. And we find a Chandra and throw a Desperate Ravings and a Past in Flames in the bin. And we're able to Desperate Ravings one more time. And yeah, so we got 4 Drake tokens on board here. He does have another Sever in the bin, so we've got to kill him this turn before he severs our Drake tokens. Which, he's tapped out. And gotta like his compliments here. So, what a nice guy. Anyway, he's tapped out here, so we do have the kill on board here. We can cast our Past in Flames, flashback our Past in Flames for 5, and then cast a Battle Hymn. And now we have 5 more mana in our pool. And so tap a white for Lingering Souls. And we have 3 more for our Battle Hymn. And we battle him, and there's 8. So we could actually battle him again if we wanted to. But we have it here. We have the 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21 for the battle hymn. So we'll just go ahead and tap away for the Burn at the Stake and puts him in -4. So there you go. This is how this deck seems to operate versus control very, very well. We are still struggling against some of the aggro decks. Celestial Aggro is usually a matchup that we fare pretty well against because our sweepers are massive against Lesnia Aggro. Of course, they still can't get their crazy draws with Rancors and Silverblade Paladins, but I mean, our deck is very, very well positioned with the sideboard is very anti-Celestia Aggro. Still having problems with red deck wins, but hopefully we can get that all figured out, or people start farming out the red deck wins with, you know, junk mid-range or some of these decks that are very good against red deck wins and zombies. So I am hoping to see control matchups more popular, and then this deck will be more competitive, but it's doing okay. I mean, it's right there. I paid 6 tickets for 2 packs. That's fine. Yesterday I made it to the finals in the standard 8-man. I haven't entered this into a daily yet. I keep missing the dailies. The times are all weird with the standard. But the next standard available, I will enter Epic Experiment and see how it does in a 4-round tournament. And maybe even if there's a standard premiere coming up anytime soon, I'll enter into that and I'll keep you guys posted. Anyway, thank you for all the comments and the likes. Keep it up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe for some more Rogue decks. This is Kevin from RogueDeckBuilder.com. Thanks for watching.